Hi guys, and welcome back to the Guitar Bay. I'm Takis.
I'm Danny. What we're drinking today, mate?
Today we're drinking coffee, filter coffee. It's an F episode, and here our coffee specialist, Danny.
Yeah, here we have some nice 100% Arabica beans from Malawi.
Okay.
You should be getting some nutty and notes. We like our coffee here on
And
the base.
fair trade, responsibly sourced, and all that.
Yes, very much so.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Direct sourced. Cheers, mate.
Okay, some coffee. Cheers, everyone. Oh, that gets you ready for a Guitar Bay episode, right?
It does. And this is an exciting one.
What do I know? It's your turn.
I have a guitar today.
That's what I know. And I know that you've called this poor guitar the dog a few times.
Yes, I have.
I presume that's because you were disappointed with the state in which it was in when it arrived.
Without saying too much, I've been looking for this guitar, this specific guitar, for a while. I'd mentioned it previously before in another episode. But anyway, I picked it up for €100. Oh. The guitar retails at €150. So it's not all that much. And it came to the door and it was butchered. And I have some evidence of that. The tuners were butchered. The guy has obviously drilled the new tuners. He said one of them didn't work. And it's just an absolute mess. So I've had to put a fair bit of work into this guitar, actually. I've changed the nut, I've changed the tuners, and I've changed the bridge. So I've invested another €60 back into the guitar. But I would have done it anyway, because I always wanted to get this guitar and give it some love and see how it stacks up. What do you think?
Now that you said all that, I think it's a Harley Benton Telecaster.
Maybe. I wanted to say
That's what you said when I was revealing the Harley Benton.
True.
Rick and Morty. What is it?
The Rickenbacker.
The Rickenbacker replica, the RB600. That's right. I
said spoiler. And that was, yeah, you can see for yourself.
So for the first time, if that's true, we'll have the first correct guess before the thing comes out of the box.
We will.
It's a butterscotch Telecaster.
The dog.
Is that the
dog? The dog lives again.
Mate, in terms of looks though.
It's banging, right?
Look at that.
For €100.
Look at the
piece of wood it's on. It's ash as well.
How many pieces? 1, 2 I see in the back.
I can...
so it's 2 pieces. The body.
I can grab your Tele.
Contrast them.
Comparison, it's a lot darker.
The Harley Benton is darker.
Yeah.
It looks great though. And the maple neck looks quality. But you said it was a dog. The frets are fine.
Have a look at the tuning where I've put in the new tuning pegs. I mean, I've managed to cover up at the back. I've fitted some locking tuners from Fame, which is the music store in Cologne.
That's right.
And they've got great reviews. I picked them up for $25, and they tighten up at the back to be locking tuners, and they're really solid, really, really solid.
Yeah, I see the mechanism here.
In all honesty,
they look like Strat locking tuners.
The guy had drilled new holes for Clusen tuners, which on Teles, in my opinion, is a no-go.
And you got a Wilkinson bridge.
I got a Wilkinson bridge.
That's not the bridge it came with.
I put that on with the brass saddles, which I wanted to have.
Did it have one of these ashtray bridges? Or individual 6 wagons?
The 6. Exactly the same as...
Okay.
Basically the same as the Fender.
So 6 saddles.
Yeah.
Like the modern Telecasters do. And you replaced it with an old school 3 saddle brass ashtray Tele bridge. What else?
The nut was completely terrible. Had nothing but buzzing. And I have to be honest, it's the first time I've ever changed a nut on a guitar.
That's your nut?
That's my nut. Black Graphtech nut. I don't like the black, but I could only find the Graphtech in black.
It doesn't look bad.
It was €10. And I filed it down to the same as the other one. I had to adjust the truss rod as well because the whole thing was completely to pod. And one more disclaimer, it's set up to my specifications, so it's going to be, for you, a low action Tele. So, I mean, this...
If it's not buzzing...
Is a little bit, but I don't mind that. Do you notice a difference in the action? It's a bit lower than yours.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
But I don't mind a bit of buzzing on the guitar.
That's the thing, you know, if you get a Fender guitar or a Fender style traditional guitar, Strats and Teles, typically. There's always buzzing.
Yeah.
It depends how much you can, it depends on how much of a hard picker you are, what style of music you play. It's part of the sound. I mean, initially I was disappointed when my Tele...
Yeah, you had 2 or 3? You've had... Because you wanted to get a player series.
I had
Telecaster,
2. That's the
right?
second one I got. The first one was buzzing too much. I think it was a bad neck. Because I had a request. I made a request to have it repaired, but I didn't get much back. I think buzzing is part of the sound of these guitars, and you have to offset it with how much you care about it and how you play. And you know what we say about buzzing? If it doesn't come through the amp, if you only hear it acoustically, then...
And for me, a comfortable playing experience is more important. So this is an awesome guitar. This is this is 150 new. Like I say, I got it for 100. I invested 60 in it. The tuners were 25.
Because of the tuners.
10.
Go ahead, yeah. The tuners, nut
was 10, and the bridge was 30.
All new?
All new, yeah. And this Wilkinson bridge, again, we had the vintage on the show. Loved that guitar so much. Wilkinson parts, can only recommend, from tuners to bridges. And yeah, the plan is to plug this thing in. We're loving the royal blue overdrive that we got in the last episode, so we're going to give it a whack through that, and let's stack it up against
the real thing.
The real thing, for a third of the price, right?
Less than that.
Less,
this
right?
costs over 600 now. New, the Mexican Player Series Tele.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's check it out.
Let's do some checking. right. That was nice. That was loud.
Little battle of the Teles there.
Yeah, but a Telecaster, a good old... show what a Telecaster can do, you know, what kind of animal it is. Because, yeah, we're comparing the two Telecasters, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about your Telecaster. What is it?
Well, this is a Mexican... it's the latest one, so it's the Player Series Telecaster, which used to be the Mexican standard and got upgraded with better Alnico pickups, the F on the back plate, the spaghetti logo on the headstock, but it's basically the lowest price Fender instruments you can get, and that's the Telecaster. I think it's a very good bang for buck. When you get the American standard, you get a case, and you get the made in the US, thing, which costs in itself a couple of hundreds.
What's
so
the quote that I heard from Jim Root? He said, you either get a Mexican guitar made by Mexicans in Mexico.
That's right.
Or you get an American guitar made in America by Mexicans.
Yes, so either way it's made by Mexican. We shouldn't turn this into a political discussion, but that's true, I guess.
And we love your Telecaster.
I love my Tele. It took me a while to select one, and this is it's the Player Series. It's 9.5 fretboard radius. It's got wonderful pickups. Many people yank them out and put some Tex-Mex or Richie Kozen pickups or something like that.
Noiseless, but we say keep the noise, right?
Like the noise,
you want the noise.
Of course. And this is the thing we showed you a few minutes ago. The dog, affectionately named by Danny.
Which I've really come to love. When I initially got it, I didn't like it at all. But I used to have a Telecaster, a Japanese made.
The purple one.
Yeah, I should have never gotten rid of it. It's that guitar that I should never get rid of, but I did. And it had brass saddles too. So when the plan to get this thing was always to upgrade it. And with the tuners, the nut, still a bit of a dog. I mean, I'll show close-ups of, that's not the best tuning peg installation I've ever seen, but the brass saddles, and it's a beautiful color. Really love this this sort of, in comparison to yours, it's slightly darker.
Especially the neck. I really dig the neck. I mean, the color and the neck itself. I played with it, and it's thicker than mine. Mine is a bit more modern. This resembles more a vintage baseball bat type Telecaster. But it's not bad quality. It feels good. It's not glossy. It's not sticky. It's lovely to look at. The fretboard is more than just decent. Again, it's the second Harley Benton guitar we have on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised with the low. I mean, all the guitars we've had are budget guitars. Either the lowest.
Yeah, we've had the most expensive so far has been the
PRS probably.
The PRS or the Epiphone. So about the 400 mark.
But still, budget guitars,
All Asian made. We haven't had anything
all Asian
American
made. And I'm
yet.
surprised with the fretwork jobs. There's nothing. I mean, my Telecaster is also lovely, and it took me a while to choose one that, in my hands and my eyes, seemed to be a good piece of work, because it's factory, There's
mass produced, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get the same as you would get at a custom shop, but I think they're very particular about frets and stuff nowadays because it's the first thing people complain about. But to consider that you get for €150 a guitar with good fretwork, I mean, when I started playing guitar, all the guitars were horrific. for less than £200, they were horrific. These Yamahas, people were... The Squier bullets are different.
Squiers today compared to Squiers 10, 15 years ago are a completely different universe. They're so giggable, especially the classic vibe line. It's just a quality guitar for little money.
And a bullet back then you would have really noticed, they feel cheap, they feel light. But this does not feel like a cheap guitar. As much as it's got a couple of flaws in the control cavity here, you've got a small hole. It's got
heavy.
Some weight to it.
The neck is also quite wholesome.
And for someone like me who's not a Telecaster, I'm not really a Telecaster player, I would say, but if I wanted to have one on a budget, I would go for this. Rather than forking out, 600, 700 on a Mexican, I would go for a Mexican too. But for me, this hits the Telecaster, urge that I have to sometimes play one. And
there goes the ugly dogling
Yeah, but we wanted to do sort of an A/B comparison, didn't we?
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that now. Let's so same player. I say you do that. So you, or maybe we can alternate.
Yeah, sure. You can do some
with the Laney LC50, SM57 in front. We can use the Royal Blue Overdrive because it's amazing.
It's always on now. Yeah. It hasn't been turned off since we, last
episode.
Yeah.
And use the same setting on the pedal, the same setting on the amp. Just swap guitars and play the same thing, and then A/B it for everyone to see, and wrap up this episode with that.
Perfect.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, what are we doing now here? Why are we outside?
Yeah, we didn't manage to get it together. We kept laughing our heads off. So now we're wrapping up in the garden.
So we couldn't finish the episode, so now it's the next day. And
it's a beautiful day out here.
It's lovely, yeah. So we're in my garden, and we've got the Harley Benton right next to us.
Yes. What did you think of it, mate?
Oh, I think it played great. I think, definitely the neck is thicker than my Player Series Tele, so it's more vintagey in that sense. I think the neck pickup was clearly more interesting, let's say, on my Player Tele. This is a bit more dull, a bit more, it doesn't have the sparkly top end and the roundness that my Tele has.
It was more Strat-like, I thought, actually. Your Telecaster is like the perfect example of a Telecaster, I would say.
Of a modern Telecaster, because the 6 saddles and the more modern C style neck. But it's new. It costs
$149.
150. You got it for 100, I think you said.
I got it for 100.
And you paid an extra 60.
Yeah, on top for the Wilkinson bridge and the nut and the keys.
Nut,
so I'll put
keys and bridge.
I'll put in some close-ups because, like, we named it the dog, right? Because the tuning keys are not the best installed. The guy before had already put other tuning keys in there, and really butchered the whole thing. But now it is a great guitar, and the more we play it, the better it gets.
Yeah.
Because with the new nut, it took a little bit of time to settle in and stuff, and had a little plink on it today, and it's a great guitar.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. I mean, looks alone, I would say it knocks my Player Tele out of the water. The graining on the wood is really sweet, really nice. It's heavy. It feels like a proper heavy Telecaster. I think Harley Benton Teles have received a lot of praise as a very good, cheap alternative to a real Fender Telecaster. So
if it hits the spot for being a Telecaster, I've been missing one, but this one has to go. We have to get rid of it because your Telecaster is enough to keep the H at bay. Excuse the pun. And so this one will go up. I'll put it up for 150. That's kind of the new price of it. And it's a great guitar. And with the upgrades, I would say it's completely worthwhile. And that's kind of the good thing about these is they're a modding platform.
That's the thing with Harley Bentons. If it's a decent piece of wood and it's not wonky in any way and it's okay, you can play with all the extras, the bridge, the locking tuners, frame locking tuners. Yeah. Good stuff. Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's go album.
Well, I've got my album actually right here, so I'll go ahead with it. It's Franz Ferdinand. Self-titled album from 2004, Domino Recording Company. They're a Scottish band. They were on the go for a good few years and had some big hits. And a couple of the hits in this one, Take Me Out.
Take Me Out.
Probably everybody knows that. Michael, that's a nice little good tune. Some good guitar tones on this one. They were predominantly Tele players as well. Yeah. And it brings back good memories, this sort of stuff.
Very nice guitar sound, very nice guitar work. This nice, Britpop style, but with a character. The frontman actually, Kapranos, he's half Scottish, half Greek.
A bit like us.
Yeah, a bit like us. That's right.
If we were combined.
A bit like the Bay. Very good choice.
What about yours, mate? What was your album?
I'm going to go Yes, Fragile. You might have seen Close to the Edge, on the edge of shot, on the Guitar Bay, which is another crazy record by Yes, but Fragile is, I think it's a sweet spot between trying to play those really esoteric, deep, 20-minute, obscure compositions and coming up with something a bit more catchy, a bit more wholesome. Fragile is just I think it's the sweetest spot in Yes's career.
Have you seen them live?
I have not.
Are they still going?
They are still going in their 70s.
Oh, wow.
It's Yes, like late 60s band, early 70s. John Anderson, Rick Wakeman, Steve Howe, and Chris Squire on bass. I'm not sure whether it's Alan White or Bill Bruford on drums on Fragile, but it doesn't really matter. It's an amazing record. Roundabout, Oh, the wasps are back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really
it's
not
getting-
into this.
It's getting springtime.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Fragile. Yes, what a record. And that's it.
And what's
That's
going
the-
on? What's going on in the bay then? I sold the Epiphone. Finally. Really sad to see that go.
Yeah, the Epiphone, the SG with
Yeah.
the P90 sold, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
3 days ago?
Yeah.
So, Danny got some local
I got
interest.
it. Yeah. The
And,
guy messaged me on eBay and picked it up, and it's gone to a good home. He was looking for something with a bit of mojo, and that's good. We get the bank balance back to
Mojo it had,
yeah.
that guitar.
It's sad to see that one go, but this one also get it back on the market, and yeah, as
Sweet.
always.
Yeah. So F episode out. Next episode coming up is G. We've got something already, of course. And take care, everyone, from our green and sunny garden. And see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.